50 Shades of Grayling. If you'd been a victim of crime and the perp was banged up doing time, then you wouldn't give two fucks if they weren't allowed to have books. If some scumbag assaulted your wife, let 'em rot and have no books for life. If you'd been mugged and left there to bleed, so what if they won't let 'em read? And that stance would be normal, not sinister, unless you're a justice minister, like Chris Grayling MP, Tory. Then it's a different story. From what I understand, it was the issue of contraband that prompted Grayling to ban books in their mail, so now no one can send books to people in jail. But for Dartmoor, Longlartin and Armley, this rationale is quite balmy. For Holloway and Barlinnie, his actions are those of a ninny. For when detained at Her Majesty's pleasure, there can be much more to reading than leisure. Like in Alcatraz, that man had his birds. Well, maybe salvation can come via words. Oh, breaking news. At Pentonville Prison, in protest at Grayling's decision, seems that some inmates are rampaging loose. The whole of Seawing are stood on the roof. For a live reaction, we go to ex-Wormwood scrubber Harry the Hatchet. He's since turned to Buddha. So, Harry, please can you describe what life is like when you're on the inside? Reading gives your brain something to do, away from the drugs you got bribing a screw. So what you're saying then is books can be educational, rehabilitative and help matters probational. Yeah, you're less likely to be giving some nonsense a shanking if the missus has sent you the new Ian ranking. And you're probably not going to go off all Charles Bronson with your head stuck into some Samuel Johnson. There was this one cellmate I had who could not read or write. All he did was smoke weed and fight, but then he got studying and proudly one night he wrote his name on the wall with his finger in shite. Thanks. Back to the protest where things have turned moody. They're demanding a visit from Richard and Judy. So, what do you think? Let us know where you stand. New books reinstated or should they stay banned? If your shop was burned down in a riot, why would you want them to have reading and quiet? If you're suffering because of some thieving arsehole, serves them right that books are banned from their parcels. They've ransacked some pensioners' homes. Why should they have access to poems? It's no wonder that viewpoint's arisen. Unless you're in charge of a prison, then this book ban seems perverse and sinister, just like Chris Grayling, the Justice Minister. And with appalls to wild, I'm renaming this tale The Ballad of Not Reading in Jail.